Hi, welcome back to Mel Sparkling Kaszazz. Today we're going to have a look at the watercolour pencils. They come in a pack of 24. They can be used to colour in ordinary stamps, and they can also be used to make beautiful backgrounds as well. When you're stamping with watercolour pencils, make sure you use this stays on ink because it'll stop it from bleeding a little bit and running with your stamps. So there's a couple of different ways you can do this. The first way is to previously wet your watercolour paper. So you just want to, I'm just going to wet the corner of it so we can actually see the difference. So you just want to wet your paper, then grab any colour you like, and I'm going to use our water brush, and I'm going to just wet my brush over the pencil until it picks up some colour. Now, when you wet the paper first, it will have quite a washed out look. So the darker you go and the less water, the darker the image will be. So using the water brush as well as the water already on the paper, we are having a very washed out look. So there's some yellow in the corner. Now I'm just going to wet the brush onto my pencil. With watercolour pencils, you can wipe the brush after each use. Otherwise, you can just keep on putting it onto the next pencil and it won't actually stay, the previous colour won't stay on that pencil. So this time we're just going to use the brush on the actual pencil, and you'll see in a second it's actually a darker shade. The bonus with using watercolour pencils is when you add water to make it a paint, it actually will work so when it dries, you can actually re-wet it and change it again. So you can add layer on layer on layer, and you can also fix up any mistakes you might make simply by adding water and wet it again. So if you're not happy with the shade that you've got, just add more water. So there we've got some orange on there as well. Now that's just using the water from the brush without the water on the paper. So it is quite stronger. And then again, if you use your pencil first, I'm just going to quickly put some colour on there. Now it will be transparent, so any strong lines you make will continue to stay on your paper. So just keep that in mind. Now you can either use our water brush, or if you can just use a normal paintbrush dipped in water as well. Using the paintbrush today purely because it has a thicker bridge, so it won't take as long to cover the surface area that we like. But I will show you the paintbrush, the water brush in a second as well. Now, all I've done is run the paintbrush over the orange as well, and it's blended quite nicely into that. So I'm just going to add a few more colours in here. Bear with me. And I'm going to do it that same way. So I'm going to pencil first, and then I'm going to add the water on top. Just because I do want a stronger colour for this. So again, just run the water. Now if you want to, you can completely colour your background first and then add the water all over the top. This will help with that blending process. Now the watercolour paper has two sides. It has a smooth side and a rough side. I like using the rough side. It adds texture to it. Obviously, if you flick it over and use the smooth side, you won't see the bumps come up through that. start with your lighter colour first and obviously go towards your darker colours. This will help with the blending process and it'll make sure that you're not overpowering your light colours. So I'm just going to wash it from the yellow all the way across now and get that blend all the way through. Again, adding more and more water until I'm happy with the consistency. So there we have our watercolour paper. I'm just going to leave that one to dry for a second and I'm going to add a stamp over the top in a second. Now I'm going to go back to these stamps stamped just on your normal cardstock. So I haven't used watercolour paper and I just want to show you that you can still use the watercolour pencils on normal paper. Again, two different styles. You can colour first and then go over, or you can colour with the water brush. So I'm just going to add some colour very quickly to show you what I mean. I'm not going to colour the whole picture. I'm just going to do little bits of the picture so that you can get an idea. Now, when you're colouring with the pencils, you don't have to be perfect with your colouring. It doesn't necessarily matter if there is gaps in the picture because you will even that out when you add the water. So I'm now just going to get the watercolour brush. To use the water brush, you just squeeze until the water comes through the tip and that's when you know it's ready. So I'm just going to smooth that out. Using my water brush. There we go. So as you can see, it's a lot smoother now. And again, if you're not happy with the colour, add some more water until you're happy with it. Otherwise, wait until it dries and then go again. Okay, this time I'm going to absorb some of the colour from my pencils on just by using my brush. So you can see the colour's gone on there. And I'm just simply going to use the brush to add colour to my picture. And I'll just pick up more colour every time I need to. I'm going to show you what I mean about the different colours going through. So at the moment I've got orange. I'm not going to wipe it. I'm just going to absorb the brown onto my brush. There's no orange on my brush and I now have brown. Now at the moment that's a bit dark. I'm just going to squeeze some more water through my brush. And that will come back through lighter again. Just doing a really quick one here, guys. It's a bit messy. And now it's got the washed out look. So just before we go, I'm going to use the precision press to stamp onto our previous background. So we just want to add, I'm going to put my stamp where I need to. Now again guys, don't forget to use the stays on ink. All the other inks will run with the water if they're water based. Just going to go again. And then we have it. So you can use your watercolour pencils and your water brush, or like I said, just a normal paintbrush and some water. I hope you've had fun today and I will see you next week. Bye.